Hi guys, it's Janice. Welcome to my channel. Come on in and sit down and relax. We're in the studio today and we're gonna play. I have a new toy that I have been obsessed with and I wanted to share it with you today and do like a little demonstration and a time-lapse painting with you. And I feel like Jesus Christ himself opened the skies and sent this down from the heavens to us to play with. So it's a lot of fun. I'm going to try to explain it to you and show it to you right now. It is actually a pencil. It's called a Stabilo pencil and it's water soluble. So when you draw with it, you can actually, they say you can use it on glass, metal, wood, plastic. I've only tried it on paper, obviously, but it's really a lot of fun. It's water soluble, so it's almost like a watercolor pencil. So when you draw with it, you activate it with water. And I just thought it would be like if you are new to artwork and you have never done anything, you literally need 3 supplies to do this project, or you don't have to do the same picture that I'm doing. You can sketch anything you want and do the same project by buying the 3 supplies. What I'm using today is obviously the Stabilo pencil. I'm going to be using a watercolor brush, probably 2, so I just lied to you and it's only midweek and I already lied, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to use a couple different size brushes, like a smaller one and a bigger one. Let me see what I have. I guess I should have got this together before I logged on. That would have been smart, right? So I'm going to use 2 round brushes. They're watercolor brushes, a number 3 and a number 2. So the smaller the number, the smaller the size of the brush. So the number 2 will kind of get into details really good. And I'm going to be using Arches watercolor block paper. It's actually my last piece. I'm so sad. But it's on a block, so it's already pre-stretched, so the paper won't warp and wrinkle when you add the water to it, which is like a miracle. So yeah, you just need a brush, and if you're only going to buy one brush, I would buy the smaller one. And then the Stabilo pencil, you would have to buy, you can't buy it like at Michael's or Joann's. You have to go to like a local art supply store or order it online. And then you would need some watercolor paper to do this project and a sketching pencil. So, oh my gosh, you need more than 3 things. I totally lied again. Anyway, it is what it is. You probably have a sketching pencil and they're very inexpensive to buy if you don't have one. So what I did was I sketched out my sketch, which I'm going to do, you can't see it here, but I'm going to do another part of this video. It's just a really simple sketch of the Eiffel Tower. I sketched it with an HB pencil, and then I took most of the carbon up with a kneaded eraser, and then I used my Stabilo pencil over top of my sketch because you have to be really light-handed with this. It's easier to add more than it is to take away. You can even add more pencil when it's wet, and it gives a very deep, intense black, like a really rich black, when you add it after the water's down on the paper, and then you draw. But you really want to do a really light hand with this for 2 reasons. The lead part, which is not lead, but is very soft. So you want to have a light touch so you're not breaking it over and over and wasting your pencil and sharpening it like I learned with my first one. This is actually my second one in like 2 months. And then you want to have a light hand because if you put too much of the pigment down, it's hard to remove it. You really can't remove it once you start activating it with water. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I sketch with the Stabilo in real time, and then I will do the water activation in a time lapse because it'll take too long. And then I'll come back and wrap it up at the end. So I will see you in 1 second. Okay, here we go. So you can see my sketch of the Eiffel Tower. Some of it I've already gone over with the Stabilo pencil because it would just be too long of a video to sketch it all out for you guys. But I'm just going to show you how I use a really light touch. You can kind of see the darker areas is where I've added the Stabilo pencil. But then you just want to kind of do a sketching motion and do it really lightly. like I said, I had a tendency to get carried away when I first started learning this medium, and it was just too black and too dark, and it was too hard to control. So I learned very quickly to kind of pull back and use a lighter touch to put less of the pigment down. Just sketching out sort of all those metal parts that crisscross on the Eiffel Tower here. And then I'm going to show you with my number 2 round brush, just has water on it, how to activate the pigment. So I'm going to start at the top. And as soon as the water touches it, you'll see it turns a much darker color. And you can do a gradation from light to dark with this too, like when you kind of move it around and spread it, you can get a lighter gray tones and shadow tones, so I'll show you that too. But this is just a really quick kind of sketchy drawing, which the Stabilo pencil actually works really well for that kind. And even if you let it dry, you can go back and reactivate it too with water, like if you wanted to add the lighter tones. And then the less water that you add to it, the lighter it will be as well. So if I keep adding water to the certain areas, it's going to keep reactivating sort of that pigment that didn't get activated by my first pass. So I usually like to try to do my outline first, and then I go back in and fuss with the shading. I've just been obsessed with this pencil. I feel like it's magic. It's just fun to do. They do have them in colors, and they do have like watercolor pencils, but they don't work like this one does. There's just something, I don't know, super magical about it. The colored ones aren't as rich in pigmentation, in my opinion, that I've tried. I use the DeWitt Inktense pencils. I bought a couple of those from my local art supply store, but they're just not as intense. I'll show them to you. This is what they look like. It's the Derwent Inktense. So I did get a couple of those, but I just didn't feel like they were as intense of a pigmentation as the black one was, the Stabilo. So I'm going to finish the top of this tower, and then I'm going to actually speed it up and do time lapse and finish the painting, and then I'll come back on and show it to you live here in a minute. Okay, it's show and tell time. So I finished the quick painting of the Eiffel Tower, and these are still drying. I did get a little bit of my hand. I always rub the side of my hand in my painting, and so it drives me nuts, but it happens. Anyway, I don't know if you can see some of the details, but where there's darker marks, it's where the pigment hasn't been dissolved yet, so you could actually still go in and add more shadowing and detail if you wanted to. I forgot what I was gonna say. You could add more shadowing, but I also like how it has the darkest part. It adds more dimension and like detail and depth. So and then right here in this arch, I actually added the Stabilo pencil on the wet paper, which that's why it's the darkest part of the painting really, and then up here too a little bit, because that's where like I told you, when you add the pencil to the water, it actually makes it a little bit darker. So if you wanted to go like darker, you could do it like that. So anyway, I hope you guys had fun today doing this fun little project, and comment below if you have tried a Stabilo pencil or if you're planning on trying it after watching this video. And I always want you to remember that I firmly believe that everyone is an artist, that just some artists have had more practice, and you may have ended your artistic career in kindergarten, but it's never too late to start again. And don't be afraid of making mistakes, because that's why they make erasers. And I hope you have a blessed day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.